it's become kind of obvious to me that Jim Cameron doesn't want to leave Disney. I don't know whether he has some connections there or whether he is after their ability to promote movies or what. But anyway, it just appears right now that it may be he doesn't want to leave Disney. That's just an indication. So if that's a deal breaker for you, I would just like to know if you would support the movie if you knew that Cameron would not let Disney change his vision for the movie, that he would not let Disney alter. Um, well, since he had made a promise to Kishiro to stick to the um, material and to honor it, and I think we can trust Cameron to do that. Do you think that if he kept that promise, you could support the movie? Because right now people are saying, okay, well Disney owns Alita, so Disney is going to mess with Alita and is going to ruin it. I think that is first incorrect, and I think you should be more. I think you should, yeah, you should trust Cameron a little bit more than that. I know it didn't work out with Dark Fate, but I don't think we're going to have a problem with Rodriguez. We've already had one movie with Rodriguez. I don't think he's going to suddenly turn into a terrible director. So if he did, though, that would be on Rodriguez and Cameron, not on Disney. Now, I'm not exactly a fan of Disney, as most of you know. The main reason why is because Disney is too powerful. It is a monopoly, and in that it's going to kill cinema because no movies are going to be able to compete with Disney, and and with the power that Disney holds, they can demand so much of movie theaters that the movie theaters become dependent on Disney and that they can't survive without Disney. So Disney becomes like their biggest shareholders, and it's just too much power for one company to have. So this is my dilemma. I don't like supporting a monopoly, okay? But Landau has and Rosa have both told us to make our voices heard and point them in Disney's direction. In a way, I think that's a compliment that not Cameron, but Landau would actually um, would actually tell us to do that because what that shows is that he knows that we have influence, that we maybe not influence, but we have the ability to be heard. That's what I'm going to say. That we have the Alita Army has the ability to get their voices out. And so this is why I think he said what he said. I think it may be a show of respect. And his comments from before, I'll just get that really quick. So surely you remember his comments to Sean O'Connell from CBR, not CBR, I'm sorry, from Cinema Blend. So Sean O'Connell from Cinema Blend, I can't seem to zoom this in. Okay, we'll forget it then. Um, John Landau says, "I am very aware of it." He's talking about our efforts to help Alita. I'm very aware of it and very, very appreciative of it. It's what you want to do when you make a movie. You want to reach people and you want them to become your advocates, and that's what they've done. So we are, in his opinion, in his own words, we are Alita's advocates, and I do think Landau has a lot of respect for the fans, and sometimes I get the feeling like who wouldn't get the feeling that they're not being respected by the producers because we're not being let in on what's going on with the movie. We're trying to support the movie, but we're not getting any. Let's say that we feel like sometimes the love isn't being reciprocated, and so of course we get the feeling like, well, they don't care. They don't really. We're working hard. We've been 10 straight months. We've been campaigning. We've been putting up with ridicule and mockery and getting what do you call smeared by the media, you know. But I do think that he had John Landau has a respect for us, and the fact that he came out and said what he said, I think is a sign that he has respect for us. So we have to have a little bit more trust in whatever he's planning, and that's just what I'm going on right now. I'm saying I think John Landau knows what he's doing. We need to trust his plan, and I don't believe that he's going to let Disney ruin Alita. A lot of people are paranoid about that, but Disney doesn't have creative control over this this property. Like Cameron has the adaptation rights. He has creative control. Disney does not. And I do not believe Cameron is going to give up creative control if he wouldn't even let another person direct the movie for so many years. He wouldn't even let anybody other than Robert Rodriguez get their hands on the movie and take a shot at it.
And it's almost like subconsciously I had already decided to hand it off to another filmmaker, but only the right filmmaker.
He let it slip that he was probably only going to be doing Avatar movies the rest of his career. And my heart kind of sunk because I wanted to see Battle Angel. So selfishly, I asked him, well, what happens to movies like Alita Battle Angel? Like as a fan, like as a Comic-Con geek fan, I wanted to know.
And it happened in a split second. I thought I would let go of it for Robert.
Jim said, here, I'm going to give you the script that I wrote. It was way too long. And Jim said, if you could bring it down to a shooting length, you can direct it.
So I don't believe he's going to let Disney just suddenly come in and mess with his vision. Here's the thing though, knowing that Disney is involved, you already saying that you're not going to support the movie because of that. For the reasons that I have already explained here, I think that is really short-sighted. I think you're being short-sighted. You're being small-minded. You're not looking at the whole picture. If they're not going to influence the movie, then why else would you protest it? Why else would you not support the sequel? Why else would you not campaign to help the sequel get made? I've already explained my reason. My reason was that I just don't like Disney being a monopoly. But at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and go with what Landau said, and I'm going to keep pushing on this. For all we know, they may end up turning around and not even working with Disney, but they may have us plead with Disney for the sequel, and then eventually say, no, we're not going to go with Disney after all. We don't know that. There's a lot of things that we don't know, but people are already throwing in the towel, right? They're already giving up. They're already saying they're not going to support. They're not going to campaign. They're not going to help the sequel get made. So you're cutting yourself off at the knees. Really, you're not even giving yourself a chance for something good to happen. You're taking the most pessimistic attitude towards it, and you're not even giving yourself an opportunity for something good to happen, for something to go your way. And when I look at this kind of attitude that I see, it kind of makes me wonder. For let's just take Star Wars, right? A lot of people complain about Star Wars, that Star Wars isn't a bad. I don't like the current movies. I don't like the what do you call it? The sequel trilogy. These movies are terrible. But would I support if they had a good movie? Yes, I would. But a lot of people are also saying that they would too. They would support if Disney made a good movie. I have doubts about that though. From what I've been seeing with the way people have responded to the news that Alita may be at Disney, then they're already jumping ship. I kind of doubt that people will support a good product even if it comes from Disney. I honestly feel that way. How can you judge something before you even get it? And if you say it's based on their past history, well, you're not even, again, you're not considering that Cameron has creative control, not Disney, right? So are you going to support, if you are going to support Alita, if it's going to be a good movie, if it's not going to be influenced by Disney, if it's not going to be, quote, woke, unquote, if it's not going to be ruined by Disney, are you going to support it? And if your answer is yes, then you need to start supporting now. Because if you don't support now, you may not even get the sequel in order to go see it. And when you get to the theater, say, oh, it's not woke after all. Well, yeah, it was never going to be woke, right? But you may not even get that chance if you don't support right now. So I hope I explained that somewhat coherently. I'm not a good speaker. I never said I was. So, and I'm not even trying to be. I'm just going to be myself on this channel. And hopefully you can all bear with that. So that's all I have to say. Thank you all for watching and listening.